Hello, I am the Jagged Wizard, and today I'm going to be talking about the Pathfinder Roleplaying Game. The Pathfinder Roleplaying Game was originally designed as a modification of the 3.5 Dungeons & Dragons rule set. It doesn't change very many of the core fundamentals, but adds many new classes, traits, and abilities. There are a lot of cool things about Pathfinder that I love and am very excited to talk about today. Today I'm going to talk about its strengths, weaknesses, and why I think it's worth playing despite the weaknesses that it has. First, let's talk about social interaction. Social interaction, as given in the core rulebook of Pathfinder Role-Playing Game, there are 4 skills. These skills are not very thorough in and of themselves. However, 7 years after the original publication of the rule system, a book called Ultimate Intrigue was released. And this book expands upon the social interaction and social combat systems so that there is so much more depth and playability to it. That being said, it comes 7 years after the original release. It's a little late and frankly feels like an afterthought. But that doesn't undermine the value of the rules as given in this expansion. It is a very cool way to use the system as already built to allow for more to be done with it. Overall, I think the social interactions are lacking until you hit Ultimate Intrigue. Ultimate Intrigue expands and allows Pathfinder to stand on its own 2 legs in social interactions, even if the base system itself is very lackluster when it comes to social interactions. There is very little on it in the core rulebook. There is an expansion book that came out several years after the original publication of the core rules called Ultimate Wilderness. And this is a book that expands greatly upon the rules for exploration. That being said, I think there is a lot that can be done with these 2 additional rulebooks to make these pillars less of a weakness of Pathfinder and to turn them into strengths. That being said, combat is Pathfinder's bread and butter. It is the mark of Pathfinder. Just like D&D, just like a lot of the war games from this style, combat is what it's all based around. And that's not a bad thing. That just is the most important pillar for these games. And the combat is phenomenal. It really is. The 28 pages they spend on it is very well deserved, and I really enjoy my time with the system. It is a good system that has a lot of really cool opportunities. And one thing that I really want to applaud is the character creation. You can create whatever character you want in the system. It is a very versatile and flexible system. Yes, there is crunch with that. Yes, there is math with it. But if you find a character you're really excited about, the math doesn't matter anymore. Because you're willing to do it because it's worth it to play that really cool character. It's never so intense of math that it takes away from the game itself and from your character. Once you get settled into that character, it is so cool to be able to have the mechanics back up this bizarre character idea. So for example, I made this blind monk. It's a blind guy who beats up people with his fists. And there are mechanics to support that. There are traits you can take to make yourself blind and give you bonuses and penalties as well, but that there are so many cool ways to incorporate character ideas with the mechanics that it's not just like, oh, I can hand wave this and make it work, but there are rules to support all of this. I can be a blind fighter and be perfectly competent. One last thing I want to shout out before I wrap up is the adventure paths. These are monthly adventures published by Paizo that understand the weaknesses of the system and compensate for them greatly. I am amazed by how well the adventure paths that I've run and the adventures I've been a part of compensate for these weaknesses of the system and make them not feel like weaknesses. I'm running a very exploration-based campaign right now. and it's one of these adventure paths, and it's very amazing to see how the system doesn't feel like the exploration is suffering because it wasn't in the core rulebook originally. It's amazing to me. And I think that is something that I would strongly recommend, is finding a short adventure that is written by Paizo. They have several free ones on their website that you can go and get for free. And in closing, I love Pathfinder. I highly recommend it. I know there is a lot of crunch in it, and I don't think it's the most crunchy system out there. I don't think the crunch is unbearable, and I'm not really a math person. But I think if you find something you're excited about, an exciting story, that the crunch doesn't matter as much. If you enjoy fantasy, it's a great system. Honestly, another great thing about Pathfinder is that all of the rules are available online free through the Archives of Nethys, which has partnered with Paizo. And so all of the books I've talked about, all of the rules that you need to play the game are found online for free. You don't have to spend any money to play Pathfinder. And that is why I recommend Pathfinder, because you don't have to spend any money to get started. You can get free adventures and you can get all of the rules for free. And then if you like it, you can buy the books for a little bit more convenience if you're going to be playing regularly. I highly recommend Pathfinder, and I know there are strengths and weaknesses, but I think there are a lot of really cool ways to overcome those weaknesses and make the game as a whole a very strong system. If you're enjoying this content, please give me a like below, and if you want to hear more about other systems, I'm looking to review a couple of systems, including Pathfinder 2nd Edition. If that interests you, please subscribe and hit the notification bell below, and you will get notified when I post another video. Thank you so much for watching this far, and if you have any recommendations for systems or thoughts on the Pathfinder role-playing game, please share them in the comments below and we can talk a little bit. I can share my thoughts. Thank you so much and have a great day.